September 2024 has a lot going on astrologically. Apologies in advance if my computer's making noises like loading in the background. I've got a job to do. Aries rising, if deep astrological information that's all about your rising sign is of interest to you, then this video is certainly going to be your kind of tonic. If it's not, I appreciate that. And this video and content may not be for you. But for those that are really interested in what's going on with their ruling planet, the eclipse, the change of season, and all the yummy aspects and transits that the planets are making in our solar system that is connected to the Aries rising, let's get into the video then. Mars, if you're an Aries rising, is the planetary ruler of your chart. He is the lord of Aries rising and rules the first house. You are a cardinal fire yang rising sign. On the 1st of September, Pluto is retrograding back into Capricorn, your 10th house. It then goes direct on October 11. Expect the breaks to be still on. Expect some fluctuations and changes to occur connected to your 10th house topics of your public name, how people connect with you, the name you're projecting out there. Oh, Aries rising is a dentist. Aries rising is an archaeologist. This is how people know you through your public name. So expect some changes going on there with your career, your profession, things that are connected to authority figures. There's still some changes to navigate when Pluto's retrograding back in here. Yet, once Pluto goes direct on October 11, you may have some clarity and more certainty and sure footing in establishing whether you want to stand out on your own or be dragged down by others in regards to your career, your professional life, and what you want to be known for on the world stage. What's your legacy, Aries rising? Maybe navel gazing or changing things up during this time when Pluto's retrograde here before it goes direct on October 11. Uranus on the same day begins its retrograde in Taurus, your second house. It then goes direct on January 30, 2025. Aries rising, you know what's really good about Pluto retrograde here up until October 11 and Uranus retrograde here until January 30, 2025? These houses trine one another. There's support. When Pluto then ingresses into Aquarius, which will be November 15, by memory, I'm pretty sure it's November 15, for 20 plus years. That's Uranus. Uranus's modern zodiac sign lord, which is still working its magic in his second house, slowing things down, getting things just so before it goes direct on January 30, 2025. Keep that in mind, Aries rising. I think there is something in that for you. And second house supports your first house, your 10th house, your career supports you. But then when Pluto goes into your 11th house, which sextiles your first house for 20 plus years, this looks fantastic. There's some serious allies and ambassadors that are going to support you in your professional life and on the public stage. The other continuing transits in September is Neptune's retrograde in Pisces, your 12th house, goes direct December 7. Jupiter's transiting in direct motion in the sign of Gemini, your 3rd house, Jupiter's detriment sign. Jupiter goes retrograde in the month of October. Saturn is also continuing its transit in the sign of Pisces, your 12th house, and goes direct on November 15. Okay, note to Aries rising. Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn, where Pluto's retrograding for one last time in your lifetime. And Saturn is also the ancient ruler of the sign of Aquarius, while Uranus is the modern ruling planet of Aquarius. Well, what does this mean, Aries rising? Saturn, which is currently retrograding in Pisces, sextiles your second house. 12th house, where Saturn is transiting in retrograde in Pisces, sextiles your 10th house. Aries rising, your second, first, 12th, 11th, and 10th houses, 10th house placements. That side of your chart, if you will. There is something for you to seriously consider in regards to your sense of God's self, your spiritual path. What's your path? Pick a lane. Are you an ambassador? Are you an advocate? Are you an activist? Are you a counselor? Are you an archaeologist? Are you a hairdresser? Are you a school teacher? Are you a sports trainer? This is that profound, I think, of a shift for Aries rising that's going on. So take your time. These planets, which is Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, there's lots of retrogrades here with these slow moving transits. So you've got time, Aries rising, to pick a lane. Just have a bit of a play around, readjust, get things just so before Saturn and Neptune get into your first house. There you have it. That's your astrological advice, Aries rising. Eclipse season is beginning in September. On the 2nd, there's a new moon in Virgo, your 6th house. Practical new beginning. Feels very clean. It's like you've got the details, you've got the data, you've got the analytics, you know what's what and who's who in the zoo on the 2nd of September. This is like a confident new beginning that's improving your physical body, your career and services connected to you, even pets. You may confidently be finally getting that Dalmatian you've been looking at or wanting for years. This feels that practical but that refreshing on the 2nd of September. On the 17th, we are having the first eclipse, and it's a partial full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces, your 12th house, where Saturn and Neptune are currently retrograde. Aries rising, it may be difficult for you to hold back some real truth bombs. That's how I feel this day may be playing out. It may be hard to put a sock in it, shut up, avoid procrastination. I think it'll be difficult. I think it'll just be on. This day looks lit, if you will, with an emotional purge. Something that's very passionately intimate and connected to your heart chakra here is possibly going to be up in the forefront, hard for you to miss. It may be something you're going through privately. Not so much for everyone to bear witness to, but you may be having a cathartic cleansing, if you will, of emotions, trauma, anger, happiness, joy, regret, shame, guilt, all those fun things of the 12th house where people really aren't privy to be a part of unless you invite them. This is the day where you may have the proverbial final purge. Yet the eclipse season begins on the 17th of September, Aries rising in 2024. And the eclipse is between the signs of Virgo and Pisces, being your 6th house and your 12th house, is a 3-year journey that begins on the 17th of September. Big changes coming up. Going to need some flexibility and adaptation, but we've all got this. And for you, Aries rising in your 12th and 6th house, I don't particularly find this very public for you. I think these are intimate, personal changes that are going on for you. Now on to the luminary, the Sun, transiting in Virgo, that 6th house. And the Sun is having a lot of difficult aspects this month. So let's get into what houses are going to be rumbling for you, Aries rising. The Sun on the 8th of September is opposing retrograde Saturn in Pisces. So there could be someone in services that are connected to you, pets, your physical health, how you're feeling on this day. Opposing retrograde Saturn is it's like a push pull of energy, a loss of energy on this day, not wanting to play. I don't want to play today. I don't want to go to work today. I don't want to check. I don't want to deal with responsibilities. Yet the Sun is asking you to push on through any perceived self-restriction, old habits. You've got a job to do, and the Sun's encouraging that, and really letting Saturn know on the 8th that you can't go back. You've got to get cracking here. So try not to get in the doldrums on the 8th is the advice astrologically on for you, Aries rising. On the 12th, the Sun then squares Jupiter in Gemini, your 3rd house. So your 6th and your 3rd house are in a jam. So what could be the jam here? Optimistic information or occurrences in the daily environment that you are anchored in, with work and services, or siblings and cousins, or technology or communication just seems, if it's too good to be true metaphor, this is what you could be dealing with on this day. The Sun's really not interested in Jupiter being in Gemini in its detriment sign, promising more than it can deliver. So just watch for that on the 12th of September. The 20th, we see the Sun then opposed retrograde Neptune in your 12th house. So what's the Sun opposed here to? You know, in Virgo, which is all about details, data, analytics, purifying, cleansing, balancing things out, being predictable, chop wood, carry water metaphor. That's Virgo. Got a job to do, just keep doing it. Very service oriented, wants to help, can be annoying. Virgos can be a little bit, but they know what they're talking about through lived learned experience. So on this day, the Sun is opposed to wishy-washy, over-romanticism, not having clarity, not having the details. Sun is not putting up with it. It is not putting up with things from the past or things that have been hidden. It's time to get out of a funk on the 20th of September. Do not get caught in deception, Aries rising. The Sun is encouraging you to keep moving. Get on top of your health. Get the job done. Don't lag behind. Let Neptune retrograde and Saturn retrograde hold you back and keep you out of the light. You need to step into it, Aries rising. That's the message of the abundant Sun. On the 22nd, we see the spring equinox begin in the southern hemisphere, which is Ostara, and the beginning of the autumn equinox in the northern hemisphere, which is Mabon. So we have a change of season. We all feel it, we all know it. We've been on planet Earth a little while now. A change of season where we can feel the crispness in the air in the northern hemisphere, changing the colours of the leaves on trees. The wind's a little bit cooler, and in the southern hemisphere, the flowers are blooming. We're getting our hankies out and sneezing because of all the pollen in the air. We get back into the gym. We feel we can clean the home because we're inviting in summer. We get on top of it now in busy Virgo season and Libra season, the changing of the season months. So we're going to see it and feel it around you, this change of season, which always brings in a sense of something new. On the same day, the 22nd, the Sun ingresses into Libra, its full zodiac sign, your 7th house, until October 22nd. So the Sun ingressing into your 7th house, which, really traditionally through ancient Hellenistic astrological teachings is not content in the sign of Libra, quite simply because the Saturn is exalted in the sign of Libra, the Sun's exalted in the sign of Aries. but it's all the ways in the opposite sign of Libra. Your seventh house of endings, rest. This house is where you chill out after a hard day's work, the seventh house. That's why it's connected to endings. It's also relationships, be it intimate or otherwise. It's agreements and contracts that we have with other people. So when you have the sun transiting here, not completely content in Saturn's exaltation sign of Libra, you could be dealing with creating more optimism in ending relationships. Finally letting go, finally saying goodbye, or bringing in new people, places, and faces that feel fresh, that feel more in balance with you, with your beliefs and your values. It can be a tricky transit, but it could also finally, if you will, give you the energy or the bravado to express what you feel has been out of balance for a while with significant contracts and relationships or things that have been going on for a little bit too long. The sun here may really help you create new beginnings, but sadly say goodbye to some endings as well. So maybe a tricky transit for you, Aries rising, and the sun is transiting in Libra from the 22nd of September until the 22nd of October. On the 30th of September, the sun is conjuncting Mercury in Libra. A Sun Mercury conjunction. These happen often. Not too often, but often enough. They're not rare. So, what's the sun lighting up? When a sun connects with Mercury, we're talking, someone really trumpeting their horn, really being quite strong in their words, decisions, or even a strong message or communication through documentation or a contract, for example. Having very strong lands on this day that could have you making a very acute decision on what's working and what's not. Whatever this conversation, communication, or documentation is referencing to. Interesting day on the 30th of September. Apologies in advance for my computer making noises. Ugh, it's irritating, but we're nearly there. Aries rising. Mercury has been transiting in Leo, your fifth house of joy and pleasure, and opening up the month is still here up until the 9th of September. So if you need to have any negotiations regarding the topics and subjects of children or significant conversations with children, this is the time to do it before Mercury leaves on the 9th of September. If you need to discuss contracts, agreements, or negotiations with investments, professional projects that you are creatively connected with, anything to do with negotiating sports, athletics, this is the transit to do it before Mercury leaves. And you may also be in two minds about a romantic partnership or a relationship, or really split about what really gives you joy and pleasure. The fifth house has a lot to do with where we get our adrenaline pumping. So Mercury transiting here gives you options and also is connected with finances as well. That can have you really cerebrally lit up, if you will. You're cerebrally on fire when Mercury is transiting in that fifth house of joy and pleasure about all the delicious options. Then on the 9th, it ingresses into Virgo, its exaltation and domicile sign. Strong position for Mercury to be in the sign of Virgo, your sixth house of work, health, services, pets, and career, co-workers, getting back into the body. Fantastic transit for you, Aries rising. You want to detox, you want to purify, you want to get into a new fitness regime, you want to connect with new services, do you want a new workplace, do you want to bring in new co-workers, This is where Mercury can see that happen, or in actually open things up if things have felt stagnant in that sequence. Mercury here in that strong a sign of Virgo will be really, really helpful. On the 18th, Mercury then stands up against retrograde Saturn in your 12th house. Mercury is against anything chronically been going on for too long that's affected the health, the work, the services, pets. This is Mercury is not mucking around in Virgo, if you will. Mercury is a lot strong here. So what Mercury is looking across the way at Saturn in your 12th house retrograde is asking Aries rising, try not to let any fear sabotage you making any progress moving forward with your health, your professional life, sales, exchanges, and especially financial aspects. On the 25th, Mercury then opposes retrograde Neptune in Pisces, your 12th house. So Mercury is opposed to Neptune being indecisive, wishy-washy, unclear, trying to pick a lane, make a decision because you've got a job to do. That strong Mercury in the 6th house, there's a lot of potential around you, and you do not need to be dropping the ball or being, you're not playing. I don't want to do it. I'm being lazy. Not an option. Mercury is really, really in a strong position here to assist you, Aries, in those 6th house topics. Get into life. Step into it. Get on top of things that drive you crazy. Great planetary transit for you in that Virgo in your 6th house, Aries rising. On the 26th, we see Mercury ingress into Libra, your 7th house, which we've been talking about until October 13th. Now Mercury steps in to Libra, and you can expect a lot of action, a lot of communication, a lot of socializing when you've got Mercury stepping into that 7th house. It's where you're going to parties and you're enjoying yourself, you're talking, there's a lot of banter, there's a lot of ha ha ha, clinking of glasses. There's also lots of contracts and conversations about committing and collaborating with people as well when you've got Mercury transiting in Libra from the 26th to October 13th. Mercury, which is also connected to finance and commerce. If you have any financial contracts or negotiations that come across your table, don't undervalue yourself. Juice is worth the squeeze with you, and you are gold. So use this transit wisely, Aries rising. Mars, your ruling planet. What's Mars doing in the month of September for you as an Aries rising? Well, it's been transiting in Gemini, your 3rd house, and on the 3rd of September squares off with retrograde Neptune. So this is something that's been going on for a little while, a bit hazy, nothing's really obvious or being concealed that's affecting your day-to-day. Could be affecting a sibling, a cousin, technology, teaching, writing, communication, any important communication or any financial aspect of that. Something needs to be sorted out, guys, on the 3rd of September, possibly, or you just may feel like you don't want to get out of bed. You just want to chill out. Simple as that, on the 3rd of September. Then on the 4th, your ruling planet that rules your body is ingressing into Cancer. Its 4th position until November 3rd, your 4th house. So Aries rising, your ruling planet now going in your 4th house of foundations and security, things that support you, things you're passionate about, real estate, property, family, parents, parenting, renovations, wanting to make your space really reflect who you are. This transit with Mars going in the 4th is what's highlighted and on your mind. It's on the forefront, if you will. Because Mars rules your 1st house of the body, your image, how people see you, you could be changing in the family's eyes. There could be something really different going on with you, even your psychology. People are going, well, Aries rising is really different. It could be family members that are really noticing changes in you. Or you could be going through literal physical changes as well when your ruling planet is transiting in that 4th house of solid foundations. So this could be you establishing solid foundations in your body and establishing solid foundations in your family, drawing those hard lines in the sand, being very protective about what you love, and you won't stand for being a pushover in a family dynamic, for example, or in a home environment. Great transit for standing up for yourself in regards to establishing what's right and what's not in regards to parents and parenting. Passionate transit when Aries is in Cancer, indeed. On the 30th of September, Mars, your ruling planet, trines retrograde Saturn in Pisces. Finally, your 12th house. Finally, we get a trine to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. It's just, it happens at the end of the bloody month. So, your ruling planet, which is transiting in your 4th house of home, family, real estate, property, parents, parenting, sense of sanctuary, your sense of sanctuary, where you find peace and calm, and that could be the body, is trining retrograde Saturn in your 12th house of things that are unseen, things that are intimate to you and personal to you. You may be taking a retreat, you may be stepping out of the light, or you may just be shutting the world down and spending a day at home. I'm painting, I'm having a bath, I'm having a day spa at home, I'm having a romantic interlude in the home. It's none of anyone's business. I'm shutting the blinds, for example. A nice day on the 30th of September. Venus, our personal planet of attraction, opening up the month of September, she continues her transit in a sign of Libra, your 7th house of partnerships and rest and pleasure and endings, which we've just been talking about. And this is Venus's domicile sign. Venus is very strong in Libra. Our personal planets, which are Mars, Mercury, and Venus. Venus and Mercury are in very strong zodiac signs I love being in. Why is this good, Aries rising? Because things are easier to get ironed out. If there's any nuances, anything that's grating on you, these planets that are in domicile and in exaltation are beneficial. They're awesome. Even Mars, when it transits in Cancer, I mean, it's sextiling Mercury in Virgo. Sextiling Mercury in Virgo from your 4th to your 6th house. So things are improving. I mean, these are good transits, Aries rising. Now, Venus in domicile on the 5th of September, Venus and the Moon conjunct. What is this for you, Aries rising? This is great. This literally feels like a day spa or a proposal, something quite emotional lands, or you hear some news that really heightens you. It gets you all emotional and all squishy on the inside. I know that doesn't sound very Aryan, but it can be, and it's just a beautiful day on the 5th of September. On the 15th, we see Venus now trine Jupiter in Gemini, your 3rd house. So we've got the two benefics trining. What's this? Easier. Everything's in flow. What's in flow? Where you frequent day to day lines up where you could meet a significant contractor that benefits you professionally. You could run into a plumber that you've been looking for forever. You can find a house that you walk past on your daily walk. You finally find the house that you've never noticed before. This is where things become organic and easier and flowier in regards to communication, contracts, and pleasure. Fantastic transit and a fantastic day on the 15th of September. On the 22nd, we see Venus square retrograde, Pluto in Capricorn, your 10th house. What's this all about, Aries rising? Venus, in being in a very, very happy sign, nothing's a drama, has a standoff with retrograde Pluto. Not the greatest of things, these two planets squaring off with one another. They're very passionate, both planets in their own right. So Venus squaring retrograde Pluto is possibly seriously considering the repercussions of anchoring into a contract or going back to a relationship connected to your professional past or an authority figure or aspect is coming up again that needs to be addressed. It just looks like a difficult day to navigate. But Venus squaring retrograde Pluto, we're certainly not going to tolerate um, any social bagging or um, having Pluto retrograde here in that 10th house of your professional life being sucked into anything illusionary. So I think it's at the end of the day quite beneficial. Venus is a lot more stronger. And then on the same day of the 22nd, she then ingresses into Scorpio, her detriment sign. Why is she in detriment? Because Scorpio is the ruler of Mars, is the ruler of Scorpio. Venus and Mars are opposites. Farnha, so Venus is now going to ingress into Scorpio, her detriment sign, until October 17th. This is your 8th house of shared resources and your finances, your assets, the house of inheritance, tax, debt. This is your 8th house, or partners, insurances, taxes, debts, if you have a partner at all. So Venus transiting here in that very passionate, watery, fixed sign of Scorpio could really highlight that Uranus retrograde in your 2nd house, opposing that 8th house. What you could find here is you're a little bit more wise than people or partnerships or people that want to get into agreements or contracts with you may recognize or even understand. I think this is a favorable transit for you because Scorpio is your ruling sign and Mars is going to be transiting in Cancer, your 4th house, which trines your 8th house. So I think you're going to be okay with this transit with Venus and Scorpio. However, she's attracted to wealth and power. She's attracted to things that support her. And that could be a little bit troublesome. So you need to be able to see the forest for the trees, read the fine print, understand what you're getting yourself into financially. And Venus is transiting in Scorpio, and especially other people's finances and how they impact you. Heads up there, Aries rising. Nothing you can't handle, but I actually think it's okay because your ruling planet's transiting in Cancer. It trines your 8th house of shared resources, connects with your home and real estate and parents and parenting. I think you'll be okay. There you go, Aries rising. What an exciting month we have for you. There's a lot going on. Stand your ground, hold your head high, be your fabulous self, Aries rising. Please step into your power. Don't stand behind the curtains. If anything's dragging you down or making you feel lethargic, deal with it once and for all. Up until I think like from after maybe mid-December. I mean, you're kicking ass. This is the time to finally get your shit together. Do it, Aries rising. Get out there. People need you. People want to connect with you. You have fabulous energy, and this is the time of the year, the change of season, to really get down to the nitty-gritty on what is working and what's not in your own personal journey here through the wisdom and symbology intelligence of the planets that is in our solar system that supports us. I'm your Cosmic Girl 101. I'm signing off. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes. If you want to connect with me, I've provided my email at the beginning of the video. If you want to keep up with the latest postings, if you like the work that I do, hit the bell button and leave any comments in the comments section below, Aries rising. I encourage interaction with my viewers. Until next month, take it easy, Aries rising.